I think the coming together of the governors of the southern extraction, to me, believe you me, is the very wrong way to go about in issues of politics that affects the whole nation. Because the message here, unfortunately, is like ganging up against the rest of the Nigerians, particularly the North, by state actors who should be the ones that will protect and advance the unity of this country and ensure that all the parts of this country will feel comfortable by whatever end of the day will emerge as the president of this country. But if you go the way you are going and you have all the things listed in the communique or in their meeting, it seems to be a kind of ganging up against the North. When you look at the grazing, you look at the insecurity, you look at the issue of politics 2023, how can we have elected officials, governors for that matter, coming out in this manner to emphasize things that divide us, not talking about things that unite the country? I mean, it beats my imagination. And it's unfortunate that we don't have governors today coming together on issues of principle, that maybe that we are progressives or we want a progressive government in this country, or we belong to a particular ideological leaning and therefore we want to entrench that kind of politics in the country. But what we are hearing is that it's like these governors are not anything better than Iboho or Kanu or any person that is not elected to protect the nation. So
good evening, everyone. Mazezoke speaking. It is a very fantastic and a very wonderful evening today, being the Thursday, 22nd of July. And the time here now is 19:38. That is 22 minutes to the hour of 8 in the evening. Wherever you're watching me from, today is a blessed day. And I'll say, may the God Almighty, the creator of heaven and earth, be with us as we, as one family, begin to look at issues dispassionately today once more. I will say once more, how are we all doing? For many of you, some of you who sent me message saying, Mazi, we didn't see you yesterday. I say, Mazi has a life. I was dealing with my with my Qatar, but I am happiness more. I am happiness more. And thank you for everyone who checked out on me. I am very well and I am doing well. Once more, thank you very much for joining me. If you're seeing my face for the first time, I am Mazi Ezoke, and this is Njenje Media TV. Mazi Ezoke, if you do not know, is one of the dotted ones, and he is a proud daughter. Interpret that to mean whatever you want. I am proudly dotted. And I say, welcome. May I know where you are watching me from? That's where we are starting. May I know where you are watching me from? And do me a favor, like this video. And I can see many of you keep coming back, both on Facebook and YouTube. But you are not yet subscribed to Njenje Media Facebook page. Please, I'm begging you, do me a favor, subscribe to Njenje Media YouTube channel, subscribe to Njenje Media Facebook page, and like this stream. Just 3 things you can do. Oh, wow, today is a very fantastic day. Already, we haven't even started. People are pouring in with super sticker. Thank you, MC Chi, CHK, MCHK. Thank you very much. We haven't even started. Now, people, that's what I call showing love. Super sticker already. We're just starting. I just showed my face, and here we are. Now, let's get others to join us. We are barely slightly above 100, but I know we will get up to 1,000, if not 2,000 today. We will. But we have to share this stream. Ozofo says, I'm watching from Ghana. Thank you very much, Ozofo from Ghana. I think someone told me that Ghana appears to have better internet connection than Nigeria. And Ken Emeka is watching from the United States of America, Texas to be precise. Kuti from Johannesburg. Kuti, I hope you're in the right track in Johannesburg. I hope you know what I mean. Thank you. Okay, where do we start? Okay, we're going to start, people. Once more, if you're on your dot like me, see, many of you will say, don't think I'm only putting on the same dotted. I like it. Even if I wash it, I wear it again. Some of you who follow me on Facebook, a friend of mine who is from Plateau State, who is actually a Fulani, and he went on to accuse me because of my dottedness. And I said, no, now I know it's actually getting, my dottedness is getting the right reaction. So we need to dot it more, people. And I have received a couple of emails from some of you who want the dotted t-shirt. Yes, I will reply your email because I need to find out the cost based on your country. Okay, I'll come back to you. Those of you in Nigeria, I think someone from Abuja has made a request. So we'll find out which the local courier to use or an office where we can send it. People could now go there and pick it up. You know, there must be a way it's going to be much easier for us. Even local couriers within Nigeria charge at least minimum of 2,000. So again, remember the reason why the dotted people appear to have more cash is because they know how to make use of the little that the creator above has given them. So we would not, if there is the possibility to merge, shipments, of course we would do that, especially some of you in the United Kingdom. I know some of you also from Glasgow, Scotland, have reached out to me also, but bear in mind, we will all do it. Again, we are dotted, and proudly so. Thank you very much for joining me once more this evening. My name still remains Mazi Ezoke, and you are still on Njenje Media TV. I have my Germans. Oh, Ugochukwu, guten Abend, Mazi Ezoke. Ich bin auch da, aber hier in Berlin. Der Ugochukwu, wenn du das willst, du kannst sagen, Adresse schicken, denn, wie nennt man das? Die Versandkosten bezahlen, beziehungsweise, wenn das geht, via PayPal oder PayPal, als man das nennt, dann können wir das auch zu euch zukommen lassen. Perfekte Deutsch. Oh dear, watching from Manchester. This evening I want to try every accent. I once went with my kids to Manchester and my daughter said, Daddy, why do these people from Manchester, they speak somehow? And I'm like, they speak as if they sing. Wie geht's dir heute? Meine Güte, so many people from Germany today. Emmanuel Okeke, thank you very much. Thank you. I feel, I love you all. So people, let's get to serious matters. As my topic suggests this evening, we will be looking at the following. How the political class abuse you and I, abuse the poor by means of saying that they are giving back to the society, but invariably a means of abuse. Most times they say they donate to the poor. I said people should subscribe, and one person unsubscribed from YouTube. Why? Why? Subscribe, not unsubscribe. Come on. Like the video. Like it. Let's please do that. We'll bless ourselves. Good work. Maureen. Oh, Maureen from London. Oh. So are you the Maureen that supported us through PayPal? MCHK? If that's you, can I have a confirmation from you? I said it the other day, but I don't know who the Maureen is. What's the Maureen last name? But Maureen MCHK, if you can confirm, that would be nice. Okay, thank you, everyone. So now this evening, one of the things we keep doing is enlightening ourselves. It's a two-way traffic. As long as we keep it civil, we keep doing it, we will get there. And here we are. I have a very interesting news to share with us, but I'm still waiting for confirmation. It's a breaking news. Oh, thank you. One person just subscribed to us now on YouTube. Thank you, whoever that is. Thank you. That's what I mean. You give support. So, I am happiness more. Are you happiness more? Let me ask my good friend from Castina if he's happiness more.
All right. Have you voted?
I'm voted, yeah.
Okay, so
I'm happiness.
Make it any?
Yeah.
tell me your feeling after voting today.
Yeah, after voting, I'm feeling okay. What I want, I get it on the result. I'm getting the party I want is the one going on. Thank you for that.
What are you expecting from these people you voted?
I'm voted, they can do what you want, and then when they want, what they want, inshallah, we're happiness more, isn't it? So then please, I want to beg them.
Inshallah, Mazezoke is happiness more. If you want Mazezoke to happiness more, then let's slap me with super stickers and super charts. Thank you very much. Oh, Maureen Chukura, God bless you. That's you. Okay, I'm happiness more now. Maureen, I know you are happiness more. Says, okay, it's now happiness more. If not for anything, I can confirm that Maureen Chuku is you, MCHK, and you are happiness more. I am also happiness more. Oh, there. I have a namesake, Ifan Chuku Toichuku. Oh, that's so much Chuku Chuku. That's what the Germans used to call me. Let me tell us a story before I start. Many of you don't know how I started actually answering Mazi. Mazi was as a result of Germans. Germans made me started answering Mazi. And that was in the year 2001. Oh, freaking hell. That's 20 years ago. You see, my own Mazi is not as young as yours. My own Mazi is a title and also a benenung. While in Germany, we were learning language, how to speak German. The Germans say Mr. is Herr, Mrs. is Frau. And the Germans, in the language school where you have Koreans, Japanese, where we respect each other, Chinese, everything is, Senegalese, But Nigeria is not ease because Nigeria is was. So in one of those classes, they asked me when I introduced myself, they said, but how do the Germans say her, how do you say her in your local language, not in English? And I said it's Maz. Before then, to be honest with you, I never gave it a thought. There is something that sometimes exposure or maybe studying or living in a different environment for a long time or for a while would help you do. It helps in what I call self-discovery. That sojourn in that part of the world made me to discover myself and to know that I am Igbo first before anything. And that you're Igbo first before anything is no crime, but it is your identity. That you're Yoruba first before anything is not wrong. It means you have discovered your identity and you know and accepted your identity. If you ask a German is a German first before he is an European. And I tell people this when people get confused. If you see someone from the United Kingdom, we go to conferences where I know from accent, I say, oh, this person is a Scottish person. But obviously, you get talking. Oh, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Nigeria. Oh, where are you from? He says, I'm from the United Kingdom. What part? You see, he doesn't take offense. I'm Scottish. Many times he won't even tell you that he is Scottish. Sorry, he is, because there is nothing like I am United Kingdom. No, he doesn't. He tells you he's Scottish, but he has a United Kingdom passport. United Kingdom. That means these are kingdoms, plural, that have agreed together to be united under one umbrella. And that's why they are United Kingdom of. They'll now tell you which, and which. The United Kingdom and Northern Ireland. In that United Kingdom, you have the Scottish, you have the English, and you have the Welsh, and the third one. So if you do that in your own local way, so who are you? I'm Igbo. Which country? This is the country. But this is my identity. It means nothing. So, do not let anyone confuse you and make you feel, oh, you have to say, if you don't say you are a Nigerian, you begin to feel, as if you betrayed anyone. No, you haven't. You're just being truthful to yourself. That's what it means. You're being truthful to yourself. And you cannot love others. You cannot, you can't love. He who has no love has nothing to give. If you don't love yourself, if man's now as I did, I'm not in love with what you're looking at. We're not in love with, everything. I can love you. But because I'm in love with myself, I'm in love with being Igbo, then I can exhibit this love to the world, to my neighbor in the Niger Delta, and my brothers and my sisters in the Middle Belt, my neighbors across Benue, Taraba, and also in the far north, as well, because we are all Africans. When we begin to understand this, probably it will create less friction and conflict. Henry Barr, let's address this before I start. Says, but in Africa we have tribes just to denigrate you as a race. What we call tribe in Africa is actually beyond tribe. I mean, I don't know. I hate to use tribe because these are nationalities. I prefer using nationalities. If you pay attention to my broadcast, I will rarely use tribe. I use nationality because I respect you, understanding that you are someone from Luxembourg. What's Luxembourg? How many are there? Very few. But is a nation being respected by the largest nation in Europe, Germany, that's about 86 million. England, that's about 64 million or 66 million, maybe after the new census. Still, everyone have their respect. And these are individual nations. So back to my story, how I got the title Mars. And eventually, my first name is Tochukwu, meaning for many of my friends here on this street called YouTube and Facebook, who do not know, the Germans cannot pronounce Tochukwu, or rather they don't know how to, or rather it's difficult for them. But I don't care. I break it into 3 syllables for you. To, chu, Ku. And in doing that, you saw them most times, I stopped them from murdering me because they murder me. They say, Doche Ku. You know what Doche Ku means? I wouldn't translate that because some of you who are watching me from Germany will be laughing your head off. They say Doche Ku. But for the Chinese, Koreans, and the Japanese, it was easier for them to say Maze, you know, referring to me. So since 2001, you can imagine, it's 20 years ago. So eventually stuck. Du bist für mich der Beste von alle. Oh, danke. Danke schön. Ich bin der Beste von allen. Oh, mein Gott. Oh, es ist mir so heiß geworden. Oh, oh der. Es ist mir so warm geworden. Auf Englisch sage ich, I'm blushing. So, what I do here is, as much as we can every week, we come in here, we look at ourselves, we speak to one another, we learn from each other. How about we change our names to United Nations of Africa? Can we try this? In the spirit of the Nigerian new name, we'll try United African Republic. Maybe we'll start from Nigeria. We'll start with United African Republic. See, people, if you follow the philosophies of Kwame Nkrumah, yes, just like the European Union, that's what Kwame Nkrumah actually believed in, that we should have a United African Front. But the thing is, in having a United African Front, just like the European Union, because there is one thing I learned from one of the courses then called European Geschichte und blah, blah, blah. What's stop. European history, sorry. I just mentioned the German, but it's European history, right? One of the things I learned from doing that European history course was the real history of Europe and how they came and how they formed the European Union. A people that have risen from killing one another. When we hear about the Fulani Herdsmen or the barbarism happening in the Central African Republic or the things that happens in Africa, many of us will think, oh, we are killing ourselves. Africans are so barbaric. If you know what the Europeans did, you know that your ancestors are saints. I say it, I have no apologies. Do you know what they call death stretcher? They get a bench, cut the bench into two, put like a spring there, then lay a man on that bench, put handcuffs on the hands like this, put handcuffs on your leg, then be winding it so that bench is expanding to a point. The hook on your hand is stretching your whole body, and the man will be crying to a point that either the arm, the leg, or whatever, something must pull from your body. Your bone, you'll be alive, your bone, everything, all your organs will be cracking. Human beings. These are some of the things Europeans did. And some of you will get angry because your forefathers barely ate a cow and kept the horn in one area, and my ancestors are diabolic. Those are saintly people. But that's not, before we digress, that's not the issue. I think maybe it's one of the things we'll discuss on a different day. On another note, I say the things we do here, sorry, whoever is calling me, please stop. Some of you. Okay, so, and you have our moms doing, I don't know the modern name of Otangele. I remember that time I used to put Otangele in the eye. Now we have this, just nothing but like a natural white chalk cosmetic makeup. Somebody applies it this way. Everyone runs amok. Oh, he's going to kill you. Oh, he's killing somebody. Oh, his juju is this. Man, our brains need to be reset. we must not demonize everything that has to do with our ancestors. And one of the videos I'm going to share with us this evening is going to explain that more. And again, the reason why I want to share it is not because it has to do with Obi Kubana, but it has to do with a man who is a medical doctor who also understands some of these things. I thank God that I've already spoken about these things before I saw this video yesterday. Without further ado, and not to waste our time, let's quickly start by what the politicians are doing to us. So, and to wrap up my story while we are getting that video up, to wrap up my story, eventually people, started calling me Mazi, and that eventually stuck, and that's it. Till today, that name remains. So,
Catch Your Fear is here now to catch the flow.
I am here to catch the flow.
With stories trending around the world.
Absolutely. Good morning, Dr. Abati. Good morning, Adesua.
Good morning, Kachi.
Good morning, Rufai. How are you doing?
Hi, good morning, Kachi. How are you? Good to see you.
Fantastic. All right, let's begin with the fact that reactions have trailed a social media post by the special advisor to President Buhari, Femi Adesina, where he shared an image showing pupils in Katsina State carrying a cardboard with grammatical blunders as they praise the president for feeding them and their fathers. Now,
you see, whenever there is something mediocrity does, there is something psychophancy does. The special advisor to the president who shared this ought to know better. But hey, he doesn't care, because everybody must have kulu head. That's why he will share this. Look, you feed us in school and you feed our fathers. Hey, where is the basic grammatics? You, third person, feeds. How does that work? But no one cares. Shouldn't that be something that would actually bring people to the point of questioning some of these things happening in the entity called Nigeria? But here we are from the presidential office, and we are talking about you feed us. You feed us.
the president was in Katsina on Monday to commission the first national.
And one of the things, again, before I let the video play, is that people were talking here, the president tracked from. Listen, sometimes, the things that are so mundane that it gets your blood so hot, the president tracked. No, he should have jogged. He should have willied. Let him not trek. Huh? As if he wasn't elected by humans. The president tracked. Okay, don't worry.
Agricultural Land Development Authority integrated farm estate. And while people were really happy to see the pictures, this is definitely a good move. Good move. It's going to, increase interest in agriculture. But the fact that the pupils boldly put out this image. I mean, obviously the kids didn't write this themselves. They obviously had teachers who gave them, the placard. You feeds us in school. Okay, we've lost that image, but it was quite embarrassing to say the least.
I think, and this was put out by the senior special assistant to the president.
Yes,
but
yes.
Can I just say, perhaps we can cut them some slack.
Okay.
But this speaks to a bigger. Exactly. Maybe he didn't read it. Maybe the senior special assistant to the president, in the rush to push out this image of President Buhari being loved by everyone, including the young and the old. We also saw a video of him yesterday in Daura when people were hailing him. Perhaps just he didn't look well. But it speaks to a bigger issue that we cannot overlook. These are students. They're supposed to be learning. And they're in their formation stage. I look at this faces and I see their children, perhaps below even 15 years of age. And if at their formation age we cannot teach and correct them, then we have a bigger problem on our hands. But it's also not new. It's not news. It's not a hidden fact that when it comes to some of these indices in education, we have them at the worst from the northern part of the country, where standards are lowered just because of federal character. We want them to be everywhere. We see standards are lowered, and then we let things slide. We should not allow this slide. Exactly. Education is very important, and anything as little as this error should not be allowed.
Well, it's as follows. Education has been a great problem in the northern part of Nigeria since 1957.
Oga Ruben, education has not been a great challenge since 1957. Education has been a great challenge since time that any human being on earth could remember. Or rather, put it this way, let's be fair in assertions. Western education, maybe, I cut some slack because I do not understand Arabic. I do not understand Arabic education. Maybe it does something, but I cannot see how Arabic education progresses society. But sometimes I question, countries like Dubai are doing well, even under Islamic rule. Who do us? Why is our own Islam and our own religion as a means of backwardness, not as a means
Following the introduction of universal primary education or free education in the Southwest in 1955 by the Awolowo government in the Western region. Other regions picked it up. The Eastern region followed suit. The Eastern region made significant progress with it. By 1957, Northern leaders also thought they should focus on education. But out of all the regions that tried to place emphasis on education since then, the northern part of Nigeria continues to lag behind. And that is why successive administrations emphasize the need to improve on school enrollment, quality education in the northern part of the country. So if you see these young persons, committing this grammatical blunder that will put lexis and syntax and all of that to shame, then you shouldn't be surprised. Was it not in this same northern part of the country that the governor of Kaduna State, Governor Nasir El-Rufai, who is a well-educated man, the problem in the north is that there is a minority that is well-educated, and then you have a majority that does not want to go to school. He organized an exam for, is it primary school or secondary school teachers, in the same subjects that these teachers were teaching, and they failed.
Can you imagine? It just for 1 second, right? You're teaching people. Obi is a boy. Ada is a girl. Bolanle is a girl. And a governor comes in and says, okay, can you come and write the same exam? And they ask you, Bolanle is a goat. Obi is a Cubana. Ada is a Chidimma. Does it make sense? You fill in the subject. You're teaching children. There is an expression in Igbo, we say, Otuohu no godo, kelunse. Somebody can translate that in the comment section. I can't. Because that's how sick and silly that could actually sound. Teachers filling the courses they are teaching students when they were tested on the same subject.
The bulk of them failed, and he said he was going to fire them. And people raised an uproar, and he said, no, these people are not good enough. They have to get out of this system. Have we not also seen cases of girls from the north abducted by Boko Haram who were interviewed and they could not speak English? Now, the concern is that those ones are in the majority. Some of them have since gone ahead to get degrees. So really, education remains a major problem in the north. The bigger concern, however, is that virus of illiteracy, of poor quality of education has now become nationwide. It's not just in the north that schools provided are in poor state. That virus has spread across Nigeria. Don't be surprised. In parts of the south, You also find people who carry placards with grammatical blunders. And yet, this is a country that wants to compete in the future. How do we compete internationally if we're now producing a generation of children, of educated, so-called educated persons who cannot communicate in the official language of the country, or if you like, a language of major global competition from where we come from? The second part about the expression of gratitude. Well, there's something in politics they call rent a crowd. Is it possible that these children were rented and somebody provided the cardboard for them? The third point is the attempt to show that the president is popular in his hometown. He was in Daura, Katsina.
Yes,
and in fact, they went a step further beyond the cardboards. The president, walked from the prayer ground to his residence, where he later received NYSC participants who were lucky enough to go away with 2 cows, 20 bags of rice, and 1 million naira. And some people were so excited, and I had some people saying, shouldn't we also go and visit the president so that we can get our share of the cows in his farm? But the question that others have raised is that, okay, it can be popular in Daura, but would they like to also go to the streets of Onitsha? Or anywhere in the east, and then walk in public like that, whether anybody will carry placard or they will carry stones. Well, I don't think that the security persons around them will offer that advice. Now, the president is talking about Land Development Authority. And what was reported is that, look, not enough land in Nigeria is being cultivated for agricultural purposes. And okay, as part of the attempt of his administration to ensure food security. So we've been hearing about this land development agency. Estates are being established.
Ruben, but I beg you do. Look, we are what? Where my friend Erufai? Let's fast forward. Ruben has that's Rufai. Now here a different version and a different take on this. Let's hear from Rufai.
Lagdo Dam. Or the entire floodplains, the lower river basins in Nigeria will be flooded in about 33 states, as was the case in 2014. So it's just that does not want people to prison.
Banner and say they have been fair. Thank you so much to the president. The question is, we should also juxtapose that with the start of out-of-school children. What is the number now? 10 million? 15 million? Nigeria has one of the highest number of out-of-school children in the world. You can't dispute that. That's a fact. Equally, let's not forget the fact that Nigeria has one of the lowest rates of primary school completion too. Out of every 10 Nigerians that go to primary school, maybe only 4 or 5 get to complete primary school. That's sad. So people don't even complete primary school in this country. Thirdly, let's not forget the fact that if you were to take a PISA test, a test of education proficiency, reading and numeracy among children less than the age of 15, Nigeria will do very woefully. Because a lot of children between the ages of 0 to about 10, 15 cannot do basic computations in this country and cannot write properly. And that's indicative in that stuff. But some people have said maybe it was even an adult that wrote that thing for the children.
Yes.
Just to carry. That's another part to it.
I agree.
So, and Dr. Abati, it's good you went historical. We all know that the northern region had primary school enrollment rate prior to 1959 of 250,000. When the South and the East had 1.25 million each.
1.25 million. That's 1 million ahead. Yet, you claim you have the population. You see, at the back of this lies the injustice, because when people say that mistake, you feeds us. That is a mistake that I see that has some systemic inclinations with no real intention to solve. If not, granted that as Rufai said here, in the 50s, granted you are educationally disadvantaged, but freaking God, in what God's name, in 2021, you are still educationally disadvantaging yourself. How are you doing that? We have what they call the Unity School, or what you call the Federal Government College. I have said multiple times on this platform. My daughter, because she's from Anambra, she will go write the exam. The exam, I think, has either 200 or 300 questions. And these are objective questions that they give them pencils like this and ask them, read instruction, and you read. They give you one sheet of paper that's normally like this. All you need to do is shade A, B, E, C. That's all. Once you've shaded your everything, that's all you need to do. Now, if you have 150 shades to do, so even if you're an itibolibo, even if you're an imbecile, you can just go ahead and do A. There is no way you will not score at least 15. But a child from Yobe will say to have passed that same exam if that child scores wala 2, as in 1, 2, 1, 2, only 2. Now, my daughter, because she's from Anambra, and because her state is in the southeast, must have to score 139. If she scores 138, knowing that the dad would use slippers and use whatever usable, and dad will get angry. No more ice cream. No more watching on iPad. No more. Do you understand? She will be crying. She would even, hanging on the street. She doesn't want to go home because dad will kill me. Dad will think I'm a failure. Now, can you see the mental torture we are giving our children? Because we have asked them that because of the state, we are invariably, not even the state where these children were conceived, but because their great ancestors mated in one state and gave birth themselves in one particular place. Therefore, it became a yardstick of measurement. But therein lies the problem, I repeat. Because the moment you are not, you've been granted, yes, you are educationally disadvantaged. Over the years, you're supposed to be coming up. But you're not. You're slipping down every time. I was in Germany when the Germans need to do A-level, Abitur. But there were some concessions given to East. At least I know 2 of my colleagues, they didn't have Abitur to study with us that time at the university. At that time, they were trying to they started what they call Vergleich, whatever, just a comparison sort of, where you get your certificate. It will be they will do the English. They will do I think in the UK there is a body called, I think, UCAS. But in Germany, I think it's Anerkennungsamt or whatever, Amt. So they try to do the comparison to know if your A-level or whatever is qualified. But even if it varies, you can do some courses to catch up. But here we are creating, because you see, this problem is going to last for so long because we are creating generation of unfillable gap. How on earth would a child who have settled for 2, I mean, the child knows that if I score 2, in fact, what it means, you just attend. Because there is no way, even if you just do A, B, C, D, E, A, B, C, D, E. Even if there is no way out of 100 you cannot get 5, 10, 15, 20. You don't need to read. You don't need to. You just shade. That's all you need. You don't need to read. In fact, if you're from Yobe, they give you the question paper. Just squeeze it like this. throw it at the vigilator, just shade. 3 minutes, give it, go and play football. You must pass and you must get admission. Wouldn't that make you angry? So when we say these things that they fits you or you fits us, we shouldn't be surprised, because it's something that was created by the political leadership of the North, thinking that they are holding the South down. But what it means is, in your moment of holding somebody down, that person, a child who scores 138 and failed, repeats again, it's very unlikely not to score anything like 150, 160. What you have aided that child to do is that you have brightened that child. Has he ever bothered you? Why? Honestly, I don't know if I have ever said this. I wrote exam with German language in Germany, and for the first time in my life, I had an A. I came out, and if you talk to me and say you are, in fact, I'll call you name, because from that moment on, I said, nah, ich bin doch nicht blöd, mein Gott, ich wusste nicht gar nicht, dass ich so ein schlauer Mann bin. For the first time, because you say it, this is you, but it's probably because of the way you have been treated at home. Why is it that when these people move to Canada, they score one of the best GDPs? When they move to America, sky is their limit. Go to Germany, go to United Kingdom, they are doing very well, because you can try to suppress people to a point whenever they see any form of breath of fresh air, they blossom. It's a tragedy. How about Rufai, please go on.
And the East even superseded the South at the point, and then the West, after free education, did reflate those numbers. If you put up a campaign that the president is popular, the question is, yes, popularity taken, does it address the niggling challenges on ground in the country? We need to build a nation where it's not about popularity, but it's about solution to the problems. And that leads me to the conversation on what is even the KPI of this administration. At the end of this administration, how many children that are out of school can we say we have put back in school? What is the level of numeracy and literacy in Nigeria at the end of this administration? Because when you look at it, those are the indices you will be judged by. So have we helped reduce or halve the number of children that are out of school? Have we reduced the number of children that are in IDP camps? Most importantly, if we are to take a PISA test and put Nigerian students or pupils forward, how well are they going to fare against their counterparts in Taiwan and Singapore or Estonia? Those are the formative questions in all of this. Not the test of popularity. The most important thing is data and facts don't lie. And what are the KPIs that the Nigerian government can achieve for the people?
They are talking about, the reason why that, they went to do the celebration is that to show that Buhari is popular. And what's wrong with people's brain? Who cares about, are you dancing? Are you doing a BB Niger popularity? Who cares? What are the key indices of your administration? Can we say, I came in as a president of Nigeria, and in my state of Katsina, before I came in, we had 1.5 million Amajiris on the street. After 8 years, I have reduced it to less than 500,000 Amajiris. When I came in, there was 0 Amajiri school in the state of Katsina. Mr. President, can you comfortably tell Nigerians that after 8 years, that you have built 15 schools? If Maze is okay on his own can build school for a community, and you are a president, Ogashem leave you, they catch me, self. Sorry, but there is no better way to put it. You know that, shit, Shege, Mutani Nigeria Bashawu, Kai, I cannot happiness more. I cannot happiness more. He done what thing he do me gangarangam. It do me gangrangam for my head. Huh? Number over say again.
Because once you achieve these KPIs, then poverty and inequality in Nigerian society starts to go down, and you have a little of restiveness, and people are going back to work, and you provide an enabling environment for them to work. So let's talk about the facts.
I agree with you, Rufai.
Popularity is a case of sentiments. What are the facts on ground?
It's essential to
There are
discuss
students
those facts.
out of school in Nigeria.
Rufai, bless you on that. Popularity is a case of sentiment. It's just pure sentiment. This is not
Exactly.
competition.
Exactly. I couldn't agree with you more. Well, we're going to take a short break now. When we get back to the morning show, we'll be talking about a story that's happening in Ghana. Stay with us.
So now for the next story that
Infected bags of rice sent to
is the one I talked about before. And I think I once shared a picture of, and I told us that picture at some point violated me when politicians gave our mothers yam and asked them to hold the yam up to know that they have gotten just one tuber of yam each, and they asked them to hold it high. That is abuse. That is mental abuse to our parents. But here in Ghana, thank God that there are people who are now waking up. They gave them rice, and the youth said, no, we don't want. Take your rice, we want job. Teach people how to fish, not giving them fish. Let's see.
Them by Samuel Abu Jinapos of the New Patriotic Party, who represents their constituency in the parliament, giving them this presence and them saying that they want jobs instead and not bags of rice. Let's take a look at that. Exactly, Dr. Abati, a video of youths returning bags of rice, saying that they want jobs. I think this honestly is something that we can relate to here in Nigeria.
Well, isn't it ironic? At the time when NYC members visited the president of Nigeria and they were given 20 bags of rice, 1 million naira, and 2 cows, and they ended up singing the national anthem and saluting the president. So will it happen here in Nigeria? I doubt, because even here in Nigeria, if you give a young Nigerians rabbits or a Congo of gari, they will jump at it. You know, Congo, it's a unit of measurement that people use in the market in Nigeria. So some people will ask the question, can it happen here? Well, maybe not. But in Ghana, we have to put this in context. Since May, young Nigerians have been protesting against the quality, young Ghanaians have been protesting against the quality of governance in the country. They call it Fix the Country. They say Fix Ghana. And they've been saying that, look, they are not going to give up until they see an improvement in the performance of the ruling government led by Nana Akufo-Addo. Now, this is a clear demonstration that those angry Nigerian youths are not giving up. Unemployment, Ghanaian youths, I keep talking about Nigeria. You see, I'm a patriot. One, they are complaining about the unemployment rate. They are complaining about even the rise in the pump price of fuel in Ghana. They are complaining about the rising cost of everything and what seems to be increasing alienation between the Akufo-Addo government and the people. In fact, organized labor in Ghana had to go onto the streets. Even the opposition party, the NDC, also at some point went onto the streets. Now, this gentleman, Samuel Jinapos, representing this particular constituency, is a member of government. I think he's the minister in charge of lands and natural resources. That Ministry of Natural Resources is in charge of mining. So in the spirit of Salah, he thought he would send bags of rice to his constituents, but he rejected it. In fact, they chased the
it gladdens my heart, at least if not for anything, that Ghanaians, it gladdens my heart that if not for anything, that Ghanaians have come to the realization that these things cannot continue like this forever. That they cannot continue like this forever. And they are taking action. They are saying, no, it cannot be. It cannot be that our money is taken and all we get in return is basically someone giving us a bag of rice. And they say in the spirit of Salah. But for the first time, the people are saying no. So if that continues, yes, the people, and personally, I think we have a lot to do.
Politicians away. In fact, they took the bags of rice and returned the bags into the herdsman that brought the bags of rice. And they were saying, give us jobs. We don't need your rice. So for me, this is a case of constituents, speaking back, writing back, protesting in the presence of their representatives in government. And they are saying basically that stomach infrastructure is not what they are looking for. But here in Nigeria, stomach infrastructure is the big deal. When I was running for office as a deputy governor and we went out on campaigns, we used to go about with leaflets, these leaflets. We will do this, we will do that. If you give the leaflets to the people, they will throw it back at you. And they say, don't give us leaflets, give us money. So in Nigeria, people sell their mandate, and then they collect 2,000 from you, they collect 5,000 from you, and then they suffer for months, for years thereafter. What has happened in Ghana is a good example for people to say, look, we demand governance. We don't want bags of rice or gallons of oil that we will eat, and the politicians will do as they wish.
This is why, before you get in, it's ironic because this is one thing that we have said, that has been said for a long time, as a lot of countries in Africa begin to look through their system and restructure, the idea that people want jobs, not food. It just goes to show that politicians are politicians everywhere, whether it's Nigeria, it's Ghana, there's always going to be that ideology that, listen, let's try and give them a little incentive first and see if they're going to sell their vote.
Funny enough, I was just, when I saw the story, I decided to do a bit of research, and I found that there's a long history of politicians actually using food to get votes, even in America, in the United Kingdom. It dates back. However, what we are seeing in Africa, in Nigeria, is that even when they are voted into power, they still try to use food to boost their, their presence and posture in power. And I do agree with Dr. Bati that this should be commended. However, I remember a story here in Lagos. I think that was during the EndSARS or in the start of the pandemic. The current Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly sent, I think it was loaves of bread to his constituents, and they turned them into football, playing the bread loaves on the street. So yes, there's stomach infrastructure, but sometimes the people should need to stand up for what they want. And I do think we should commend the Lagos State residents who also did that at that point.
Maybe they thought the loaves of bread were inadequate.
They rejected the loaf of bread.
The bread was, how can you bring bread?
Yes.
That was the comment, not give us jobs. How can you bring bread?
Well, that's another distinction. So I do agree that, there should be a line. When you go into, when you're seeking votes, there's a manifesto. You promise the people what you're going to do. When you get into power, you should also be held to those promises that you have made to the people. And it's something we should emulate.
Absolutely. Rifai, let's get on the conversation.
So I think it's funny that African leaders are missing the point. Africa has a youth bulge. Africa has a little over 1 billion population. A sizable portion of that, close to about a quarter or half of that, are young people. And most of them are jobless. In Ghana, unemployment rate plateaus around 12% thereabout. Inflation high. Ghanaians have been going on rampage with a protest called Fix the Nation. And that has been the case. And you think by giving them food, you'll fix the problem? It's a lie. And this is not only for Ghana, this is for all African countries and African leaders. So start thinking about how they can provide jobs for young people in Africa? Because it's obvious. Food is just a meal for a day. All right? Give a man fish and teach him how to fish. So what they are saying is, you need to teach us how to fish. And the Ghanaian government should do more than just giving bags of rice. Empower people in such a way they are able to buy their own bags of rice. Because human dignity says, I want to go to the market, buy my own food, if the economy is doing well. So this is just an indication that the economy is not doing well. And it is a ticking time bomb all over Africa. And that's why you're seeing uprising everywhere in Africa. The youth are revolting because nothing is done for them. No jobs is being provided. And this is the same Ghana that has a policy of one factory per district. So it's obvious that the factories are not firing full cylinder because a lot of people are not working. I think the narrative the Ghanaian government should be about how many jobs are created for Ghanaians on month, rather than how many bags of rice they give Ghanaians every month.
Absolutely. The people want independence and government needs to empower.
At the end of the day, it is left for us to basically go back and begin to demand for our rights. Again, there is this love for Rufai, and I must confess, he is always on point and making his point very, very straight on. Now, the other part of this conversation is when you look at all these things happening where the people appear not to be speaking up. On the other side, you see, you hear also people who have been hit, people who are good, businessmen, also now speaking up because they are also feeling the hate. In one of the videos that surfaced within the week, we saw the chairman CEO of AirPeace airline, lamenting in the Senate, in the Nigerian Senate, that he brought in brand new aircraft, brand new. Yet, this happened to him. Remember, this is not the first time. Remember, there was a time Ibeto was not allowed to import cement. Remember, there was a time, there was this issue with Cries, or was it, what's it called, Innocent and so. Why this reoccur in decimal? But let's hear this from the horse's mouth as he complains himself. Let's hear.
The brand new planes that are brought in cannot fly 6 months after.
Somebody brought in brand new planes, brand new, so that they will carry somebody from point A to point B, but they can't fly. Why? And the man is lamenting. Why?
Cannot fly. We are ready. NCA has given us the right and everything to go. But we cannot fly as I speak to you now because customs is gone back to be charging us in flagrant disobedience of the law, to be charging airlines surcharge on duties that are non-existent. On our spare parts and everything, they push surcharge. What they do is they will give you the duty. Maybe the duty is 500 million. They will give you the duty. But they now charge you 7% of that 500 million. So there's no foundation for that. That is illegal. Absolutely illegal. And airlines are being made to go through this. If not for the Honorable Minister of Aviation, airlines would have gone on strike and decided to down tools. We've been discussing that and they think it's a joke. But there's a limit to which we can listen to our minister, because the minister wants us to fly safe too. There's a limit. So they gave you the assessment. The assessment carries the duty that has been outlawed. They tell you, okay, we are waiving it, but we are charging you 7% of what is not supposed to exist. So we call on the Senate of the country to help us address this issue. If you are not able to bring in your spare parts as when due, To get the aircraft up, that is a problem. Passengers must experience delays because the fewer planes that will be available, if anything happens to any of them, you have to wait for one to go around Nigeria before doing another flight. That is why you fly at midnight at times. We need customs to change the way they deal with us. The government of this country has given us this, because the president of this country is highly interested in indigenous investments surviving. He didn't waste a minute in signing this into law. So why should any government agency not feel the pulse of the man on the beat and everybody is criticizing him? If something like this happens to the president, that one happens to the president, he has done his bit.
But Mr. Onyama, are you trying to exonerate the president? Is he sleeping? If he is in charge, by virtue of what has happened, you raise it up to him, that issue should be resolved within 24 hours. If he's a president and understand how things run, then it should be resolved within 24 hours. But now you're complaining to the Senate, and it appears no one is actually interested in listening to your cries.
And he must be praised for doing his bit. Another one is end user certificate that we are supposed to get from the National Security Advisor's office. They developed a portal where there are certain parts that are designated as dangerous goods. You must get the end user certificate before you are allowed to import those parts. Even those countries where the parts will be coming from will not even allow you to ship until you bring that from the Nigerian government. Let me give you an example. One AirPeace aircraft, nothing is wrong with that aircraft apart from one spare part. We identified the spare, we paid for the spare. It took us 3 months to get the end user certificate. If you go to the portal, I don't know, they don't know how to address the portal, they don't know how to go through it. It took us 3 months while the plane was lying there on the ground.
Anyone who has never run a business, who has never paid staff, does not understand this thing. So they think it doesn't matter. Let the plane park there for 3 months. But once the plane is parked there, the pilots are not working, the stewards are not working. You know, everything that revolves around that plane, a single plane can feed a community because of things that revolves around. So everything that revolves around that single plane is placed on hold, just because someone somewhere is so incompetent in doing whatever they are signed up for and something that they are being paid for to do. And my only disagreement with you, Mr. Allen Onyama, is that you are protecting the president, saying that he has done everything he has done. No, but he hasn't. The job hasn't finished, because if he signed something into law and there is a loophole that they are using in taking money from you guys, then it is the time that these things be raised to him. And if it is raised to him, that he should step in. He wields the big stick. If it means dealing with the Minister of Aviation or whoever is in charge, that's what ought to be done. So, you know, this thing of, oh, no, it's not this, it's not that. No. Honestly, I do not agree with you on this one.
That's colossal loss. I'm bringing this to the fore so that some of the agencies, they may not know, to help us. Aviation is not a profitable venture. I'm happy you have distinguished Senator Nala with you. It's not a profitable venture. It is not. But it takes it's addictive. When you go into it, it's addictive. You can close your other businesses to go into it. Our minister knows more than I do. He's both a pilot and an engineer, aircraft engineer. So it's addictive. Once you're into it, you will never do any other thing again. Those of us in it are just in it for service. And we should be helped to help our country. I think also the airports should be helped to, develop more parking spaces. Now we are bringing in more planes. So many airlines are bringing in more planes. There are going to be planes all over. But the parking spaces are not there. So sometimes in the morning.
See, the way I look at this is when I listen to this video from Alhaji Kazaure, when he says that the Nigerian economy is doing like this, is going lungu lungu. Listen
Our economic is doing like this. It's doing like this. It's blinking, shaking. So if not because of this strong man, General Buhari, is about to sinking at all. Now he's trying to save it. It's on top of the water, never sink now. But before it's nearly start sinking. Now we are saving it small.
So it is nearly sinking. But now he's doing above water. Small time, if nothing is done, it will nearly sink. And here we are, it will nearly sink. That's really, really, really unbelievable. Now, I would basically conclude, there is another story on another angle to what happened in Oba when we talk about Obi Kubana. This guy, Dr. Koye, made, I reached out to him actually. Dr. Koye made some point that I found very, very interesting regarding the Kubana and what happened in Oba. Let's watch what Dr. Koye has to say.
I want you to share this video to every aspiring youth wishing to become a billionaire, perhaps in the picture of what was.
Now, what he's about to say is that people believe there was blood money and blood money was involved. The only reason why I'm playing this is for us to sit back and see another perspective of what happened that has to do with planning, that has to do with show business. Remember the first day I made I made a video. I said, for me, what I saw happened in Oba. Before he made this video yesterday or day before yesterday, I think I did mine on Monday. I said, this is pure show business. It's good to know that there are people who are still thinking the same frequency. And thirdly, they've used that same event to wipe out the stigma of unknown men gone. That suddenly has made Southeast in the eyes of so many, both the diaspora, people in Lagos, people in Abuja, people elsewhere outside the Igbo nation, to think that coming home has become suicidal. But that event actually wiped the whole thing out. Watch.
Was seen in Oba last week during the Cubana's mom's burial. Though, before you think of killing your mom or your family members to become rich or join the Oba fraternity, I want you to listen to this and also watch the video I will show you right now. I made an observation right in that program where money was not only being sprayed as usual, money was being sprayed in bundles, dollars in bundles. And the striking question be, are these guys in Nigeria? Are they in the same economy where most people are saying there's no money? Things are hard, things are tough. Whereas these guys right there, you see same money you are looking for staring at you like a pool, looking for who can swim inside. And another question is, where could one say the source of this particular money? I'm here today to tell you the secret of Kubani group. That very word you see being displayed, there's a secret to it. I want to reveal it to you. Watch this very video, which everybody may have been saying, what could be the source? Look at the source from a particular narrative.
watch this video. This is the video. Just watch the man. You go to see chief priest. That is Cubana chief priest, the celebrity barman, and Obi himself. This meeting now, meeting what they go do with referee for Scotland. Scotland. These are some of those boys where they spend dollars. This is chief priest. You know, chief priest. That chief priest himself. Then see the Don. That is the Don himself. Obi nowhere. Obi Cubana. This is the meeting they had in Scotland.
What can you say about this? These guys perhaps went to Scotland, putting on Scottish attire. They are show businessmen into hospitality industry and entertainment. If Kanayo wears this particular attire you are seeing, will you call him a ritualist? Or perhaps because he wear the clothes, then he now begin to spray money. The business dimension or whatever they discuss, they say the person gave them $. It is immaterial. Men travel abroad and go and see for that $. If we discover it is nowhere to be found if your brain is not working. I want you just to listen to me today. Because this issue, I want to become a billionaire, I want to become rich. I've been so many youths to be in position, some will be killing people thinking they will be rich, only to realize after killing them that that is not the money. Some have done all manner of things, join all manner of organizations and all manner of things, thinking that on belonging there, you become rich. No, my friend. Any money you see, where that is gotten and is sustainable, can only come from here. You listen to me. There is nothing like blood money. Go and ask our fathers, who we used to say they were in one place or the other for which they became rich. Go and ask them. They will be sincere to tell you at this point, after the youthful experience, there is nothing like money medicine. It does not happen. No laying on hands of any man of God can make you rich if this mind is not working. That's why even God is saying, without your mind, I can do nothing. If you doubt me, join Cubana groups today. Let them in their generosity donate 100 million to you. If their brain is not working, my friend, you are gonna beg them again 6 months down the line. Listen to me, young men. There is nothing like money medicine. Overnight you get wealth. It does not happen. It is a strategically mapped this. God blessing the work of your hand, it shows forth. There's nothing in it. Kill 10 people, you will still be poor if your brain is poor. Now, let me tell you the secret of the wealth of Cubana Group and the wealth they are going to get from this program you see that happened. Let me tell you, Cubana Group did this. I was not part of the meeting, but ultimately, they must have 2 major targets, and they achieved it. What did they do? Cubana's mom died December 2020. It took this guy in 7 months to plan for what you saw last week. That's why if you don't plan, you're only planning to fail. They took 7 months to do that planning. Cubana high priest, pastor, donated 46 cows. And we have 46 cows. What does that mean? Over the time, they donated over 200 cows, which is capable of gathering multitude of any kind that can even fill up Wembley Stadium in UK. And these guys pull all the entertainment, all in the entertainment industries and all that, and put them together. And that program is what you saw there. It was a branding exercise. And today, without missing word, Cubana Group has become a global brand. I can tell you, today, Cubana can be 10 times bigger than what it was before last Saturday. Most companies abroad, we want to deal with them. You can see Cubana tomorrow riding a private jet. You know what? That can be donated to him. Because the jet companies must have seen him as a brand with a big market. Rolex can give me $1 million Rolex watch. He doesn't need to buy it. He has developed a brand for that. You can see Rolls Royce giving anything. My friend, this is what business in that direction is all about. The second thing these guys did, they have businesses in Owerri, in Anambra State, in Port Harcourt. Unfortunately, insecurity started crumbling most of this business after COVID. And that story, of course, in entertainment, in the hospitality industry, security is the key. And what did they do? They wanted to change that narrative by planning that program big, inviting all and sundry from global, across the globe. And what happened? They did that program in Oba, successfully done. There was no story of kidnap, no incident of armed robbery. There was no security breach of any kind. And you know what? This guy's business is going to boom any moment from now. Why? They have been able to show the people across the globe that Anambra is not what you're hearing on the screen. It's not what they're sharing on social media. That Southeast is as safe as possible. South is safe. What would they do? All their businesses in this area will flourish. You know what Cubana chief priest came to tell people? He told his Oppo, he said now that burial has been able to take to the next level. If you want to do burial, you need to plan big. Hear me? He's talking about his own class and his own business. You that is selling motor pass, you will now go and say, I want to go and do my mom's burial, like that of Kubani. You will go back to the village. Your own, the excuse is already obvious. That since you did your mother's burial, that's why witches and wizards in your family never you want you to prosper again. Don't be stupid. If you are in those motor spare parts, and you have such a burial, you don't need to say, I must do it like Kubana. No. You can do it the Kubana way. How will you do it? You can decide to invite. You will not invite the class of Cubana. You will invite the transport buses owners, drivers, and all the taxi people. That should be your own market. And you make sure that you make your own burial in a place where there will be bad road. So that by the time they come for your burial, after your burial, most of them will have their vehicles spoiled. They will not come back to you to buy spare parts. That is how your business model should be. So these are all about sense. The guys are doing their business, planning their own horizon, and also.
You know why I'm laughing? I'm watching Dr. Okoye. I'm looking at, he's a medical doctor, one of the best medical doctor I like, because the way he explains medical things, especially to the uninformed and the village people, you know, breaks it down. Now he's bringing science and medicine, even business strategy, into this video that he explained, you know, using the narrative of Cubana, narrowing it down to if you're a mechanic person and you want to, or if you're a spare parts dealer and you want to do burial and all the rest. You know, it's, again, many of you may disagree, but I think the reason why I played Dr. Koye's video is because he made a hell lot of sense. And Maz says, okay, I approve Dr. Koye's video. At the end of the day, agree with me, disagree with me, but there is one thing, and they say there's one thing with truth. Truth is always there. Whether, you know, we might choose to ignore it, we might choose to believe it, we might choose to accept it, but it doesn't, you know, take away the fact of the truth. And the truth of the matter is, yes, you know, on morality, on moral ground, people can ask, I can question, oh, why did they have to spend so much money? No, I mean, is this his money? If he made it, he can spend it. But on the other hand, if, you know, when you talk about morality, him spending so much money that he has, and I asked someone in a forum, I said, what is the morality of, do you know that there are people who you know, there are people whom their morals or moral standards that is, you know, that can own hotels, because people are married, side chicks, sugar daddy, sugar boy, sugar side, sugar front, sugar back. People come to hotel. So somebody who is so morally, you know, upright on issues about marital affair, extramarital affair, sexualities might say, no. I don't want to build a place where people will come and do immoral acts. According to Fela, they say when man is a woman and they go inside the room, they lock the door. Whatever they do, that's Fela. If you understand that, so you find out that if you want to stretch morality, many will not have hotels. But here we have people making millions. The Marriott Empire, the Sheratons. These are people over the years. I mean, I have those cards, wherever you go, you get your point, all these, blah, blah, blah. But these are families that over the years, they've made their money. So when you only talk about, how can they make money through hotelier? And, it's their line of business. I've read someone say, how can they are making so much money from spirit? It's against whatever to drink alcohol. Did they force you to drink alcohol? It is their thing. But you have to understand that these are showbiz businessmen. They use that event, in my understanding, to promote their market. And in this case, it worked for them. Let's think. You see, let's think how we can make our own, how we can use whatever we have to better ourselves. Now, my final submission this evening, my final submission this evening is on a video by Ortom, that is the governor of Benue State. Now, on this video, you will see Governor Ortom, who obviously was not happy based on what happened in his state. And again, whenever we talk about what happened in Ortom State, that is the state of Benue, whenever we talk about what happened there, there is a reoccurring decimal of something we already know that it keeps happening. You cannot mention about Benue without mentioning about killing. And you cannot mention about killing in Benue without mentioning about the killer herdsmen. But the interesting and the striking point here made by Governor Ortom, here Samuel Ortom, is as follows. Let's listen to what Governor Samuel Ortom has to say on this.
On us to put our house in order so that they will join us to win elections. So that is why we're here. 2 humanitarian workers, and of course, one of my relation who is an undergraduate in Benue State University 200 level was also killed. There were 2 humanitarian workers by Fulani militia. This is unfortunate, and they even had the guts to send words to the person who called the phone of one of the murdered workers that they should tell me until I repeal the prohibition of open grazing law. Otherwise, they will continue the killing. That is the level of the impunity we are talking about, the injustice we are talking about in this country, the unfairness and the evil that is going on by these people. And we'll continue to cry out to the outer world to see the genocide that is going on here in Benue State and other parts of Nigeria. And I want to repeat again, I heard somebody made a very, should I call it, unfortunate statement by saying that the bandits, the Fulani bandits, are like spirits, so they are not sane. That is why they can arrest Nnamdi Kanu and they can displace Ogboho, but they cannot arrest Fulani herdsmen that are romancing with government officials in this country and are killing people, taking our children, raping them in school, and yet nothing is being done, that their spirit, they cannot be seen. Who will tell me that? When these militia are coming out on video and are saying that they were hired by government, and yet they are telling me they cannot be seen. When Gumi can go to the forest and see them and come back and negotiate ransom, and they are telling me they cannot see them. How can you tell me that those Fulani militia are spirits, they cannot be seen? How can they stop iPod in the East and stop Igboho from going on with the secessionist agenda? And now you're telling me you cannot apprehend these people who are all over the place, armed with AK-47, and they themselves confessing that government is sponsoring them. The day that President Buhari wants these killings to stop, it will stop. That is all. But for now, I think that this is what they want. And it is not strange to me because they have said it before. They want to take over the country. But some of us will fight that with the last pint of our blood, that I can assure you, until you know more, because you can't keep quiet in the midst of injustice. If you want us to keep quiet, you must also give us justice. Then we can keep quiet.
And that is it. People, there is no two ways about that. The reason why we keep talking without blinking and we keep insisting that right things be done, you know, not everybody will be violent. I read comments, people say, oh, you people are still talking. What can you do? Then if you don't want to talk, go and carry whatever you want to carry. Go and carry iron pole and whatever you carry. But when the government come, please do not do willy-willy as reported here
On the
in
hour
Niger Delta.
from Niger Delta Broadcasting Service. My name is Andrew Uweri Okere Ajapasa. Yesterday, some angry Warri Jaguda boys carried dangerous weapons like a cutlass, iron pole. I went down to the Borikoko oil facility. When they reached there, the security people vanished into the bush like willy-willy.
So, luckily for these ones, the security people vanished like a willy-willy. Now, when you do your own, when the soldiers come on air raid, and when they wait for you at the airport, we should not vanish like a willy-willy. Bottom line is that there is a means and another means, which is that we all collectively keep lending our voices. The governor is there speaking. Mazes is doing his bit. Join me in doing your bit. Part of the things we can do is, subscribe. That we keep doing it. We keep talking. We will, at the end, get to a point that something must give way. We cannot continue like this. Something, the death, and even the president, even if it's death, he's going. I mean, how many months now? 17 months left or whatever. Then that's as the Germans would say. Then wird es vorbei. We have to keep pushing. No retreat, no surrender. If you haven't subscribed to this platform, please do the needful. Subscribe to this platform. And please, for many of us watching, over 400 people watching, with less than 97 people liking the video, please do us that favor. Just click on the like button, like the video, share the stream. Also, remember, if you're on Facebook, like the page. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to this channel and click on the notification button whenever Mazes OK or Njenje Media publishes any video. You get a notification to notify you that there is something new or that we are online. And for many of you who do not know, for next week Saturday, there will be a global Igbo event. Global. That will be hosted here live on Njenje Media TV. It's going to be a virtual event, and you will see, you will learn the history of Igbo on a global scale as you never learned, as you never heard before. That is going to be one of the it's not going to be like the Cubana's Cubana's mom burial, but this one is going to be something out of this world because it's going to be about 4 to 6 hours event. Virtual, we will have our brothers and sisters, both from African Americans, Afro-Caribbeans. We will have a lot of people on that event. DNA will be unveiled. That's people whom are Americans, but they have taken the DNA test, and they will be surprised on that event with their DNA test revealing which states or federation they are from. And on that event, there might be also be surprises where people might find out that, oh, I didn't know that Mr. Winterbottom is a cousin of mine. I just throwing names out. It could be Winterbottom, it could be, I don't know. But at least it's something of a global scale that you would not miss. And that is, let's quickly get the flyer here. We would eventually share that flyer at the media, Facebook, and also the community section of this platform. So this is the event. The event, like I said, is going to be next week, Saturday. Find time to join us. And on this Saturday by 6 o'clock Nigerian time, there would also be an event by Ninas, but this is going to be a very, very serious event. You have fantastic speakers. Again, it's going to center on the Nigerian question and what best can be done for people to get out of, or how best for people to get themselves out of this. But for the virtual World Igbo celebration that's going to happen, that on the 31st of July, you can see that here, Eastern time is 12 noon to 6 noon. Pacific time, obviously, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Central time is 1 o'clock to 7 p.m. At the end of the day, it's going to be indeed so many cultural celebration that's going to happen. We'll have there will be a showcase of the Igbo View in America, Igbo Villa in America. There will be so many cultural celebrations where you have groups like the Ijele Masquerade, and you have the Ojono Masquerade. You have the history of the Igbo landing. These are things that will be done by the professionals who have spent years researching on these things. You'll be lucky you also knew about Njenje TV, because this is going to be big. Join us on that day, on the 31st of July 2021. People, it's been a pleasure having you. What I can now do for the next 1 or 2 minutes, I can just look at some of the question, the comment section, and see if I can address 1 or 2 questions. Papo Bina says, Onyedot says, are they going to share PAMI? Yes. Be rest assured that Mazes would have his own PAMI, So if you are near me, if you send me information ahead of time, I can arrange the palm wine and I arrange yours as well, so that we marry all together. Because we are a dotted people, and we are the ancient people of Ndibo, the ancient people. On that note, people, it's been nice staying on here. We can share the stream. Yes, you can share the stream, Mataya, yes, you can share the stream, please. Just click share and share with others as well. What can we do? What we can do is we Mariana is saying that she can do willy. Yes, Mariana. What can we do? We can only, we can, we keep chipping our voice, we keep agitating. But again, people who think that agitating is a waste of time, that they want to do it via violence means, and I say good luck. I've never seen where that has helped, but if you think it does, go ahead and do what you know. But once you get into trouble, do not call me, because I'm going to be the first to do willy willy, and I will bail myself with my 2 legs. Talking will not solve problems. So Emmanuel Okechukwu says talking will not solve problems. I do not know what will solve problems. Talking solves problems. Talking is what you call conference. People come in a conference. People come in a round table. They sit down and they resolve their issues. War has never resolved any problem in history. War has never. People go to war, millions of people die, they rebuild, but at the end of the day, they still go back to a roundtable conference to solve the same problem why they went to war. If you knew this and our senses are intact and you knew this ab initio, why go to war? Why fight in that sense? There are so many other ways we can actually get things done. For instance, when we say this, people say it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I mean, there are nations that have done it. People I want to emulate are the Barcelona of Spain, or the Catalonians, as they may want, as they may wish to call themselves. Or when you talk about the Bavarians, the Oberbayern, they have a party that is very, very insignificant and minute. It's called the CSU. But they have found a way to find to get into alliance with another party called the CDU, CSU, CDU, CDU. I'm saying CDU. Pardon me. Sometimes my brain is hung somewhere. Maureen, thank you very much for the super chat. I think, Maureen, you've earned yourself to be a moderator on this platform because you always here. We'll start with the 10 to help keep program alive. Oh, thank you very much. We appreciate that, Maureen. So what we are going to do and what we will be doing is that, again, we will keep talking, please, people. I want us to, I don't want to discourage anyone. But of what use is it for you to get into violence where you lose your life and you lose your life for nothing? Whereas after that violence, you still end up speaking to the person that you've been killing each other. There was First World War. For peace to reign, men came, sat down, agreed on the same thing that ego pushed them. The First World War was an ego war. When the king was, killed in Austria-Hungary, the whole thing. I mean, the other ones are basically story. Second World War, again, even the person that started it, that did whatever he did in the name of Hitler, when push came to shove, he died himself. His body was not found. My parents, your parents, went in and they fought the Nigerian Biafran War. It got to a point, the leader left. Eventually, the foot soldiers surrendered. How did you get peace? Round table. Document was signed. Sadly, that the content of those documents were eventually, the 3 hours, were not properly done. Yes, we are not the only people in this country that is not happy. There are so many of us. If that is the case, I think, in my humble and in my honest opinion, I think the best thing we do is that we talk to each other where we have interests. The moment we talk with each other where we have interest, then we can now go back and begin to look at ourselves and say, okay, what are the things we can do? That's why I am happy and I support. Even today, I think one of the staff shared the video I made in 2019 when I was calling for Southern unity, and many of you on this platform were calling me Sabo, that I'm a Sobetua, I'm not supporting Biafra, I'm not. I said, listen, I'm not. What I'm saying is, if you're smart enough, you know that the solution to this is an equal force. And an equal force is not Biafra. An equal force is not Oduduwa Republic. An equal force is an equal force of 19 to 17, not 19 to 5, and not maybe 26 to 5. So we have to push that you come together under the umbrella of a collective South. And that's, again, what is it? What has things that I've started saying since 3 years ago. Thank God that finally the Southern government, the South has now finally, 3 years later, woken up to those realities. And thank God you go back to YouTube here, you will see those videos. They're now coming back to it. The realities are there. There is one thing, and there is always this thing that has to do with strategy. When you make decisions that are devoid of emotion and sentiment, based on pure logic, people would disagree with you, probably who do not understand the strategy and the intelligence behind those propositions at the point you made them. But calm down. Let them evaporate. After much evaporation, after much anger, they will still come back to the reality that you saw sitting down. I'm not saying that I do have the best thing, that I'm one of the best thinkers. No. But what I'm saying is that, in my moments of anger, there are things that happen. In my moment of anger, I think of what can I do to, inflict the most impact. And when you want to inflict the most impact or, hit somebody so hard, it must not only be physical violence. It can only be that you take a step backwards, look at the strategy, think, has this strategy over time worked for us? If no, then we have to look at another practical things we can do where, in my estimation, anything that anybody is suggesting that you suggesting it, you're not going to be part of it, then you are a fraud. Anything I'm suggesting is something, if you wake me up tomorrow morning, I am 1,000,000% with it. I am going to stay with it because I believe in it. You cannot tell people, oh, let's go and do this. Then you stay away. You don't want to do those things because you know there are grave and serious consequences to them. But if we stay true to ourselves and we say there is no harm in conversation, in saying, okay, people, can we agree on this? And I think, like I've said before, I want our governance of the Southern to, the final straw, because will be that we have to do two things. We have to support them, give them moral support, publicly, privately, tell them that we are behind them, irrespective of what the other side thinks or says. Secondly, beyond supporting them, they must now do for us one thing, which is they must begin to think beyond just the Southern Governors Forum. They must be ready that if push comes to shove, they will and they must. And we will and we must stay on our own as a collective. On that note, people, thank you very much for joining me this evening. I am still Mazes, okay? It has been a pleasure for the last 1 hour and a half to have you here. I do not take your commitment to this platform for granted. I love every one of you here. The last time I was in Birmingham, I saw some people, people saying, Maz, is that you? I say, yes, that's me. I'm here. I appreciate that when people walk up and say, They follow me, they watch me, they see this. It gives me great pleasure to know that people actually listen. The journey to liberating ourselves is a journey of 1,000 miles. Let's take it one step at a time. Be that as it may, we will, at the end of the day, prevail, because the one and the only one we serve is alive, is on the throne, and it will keep guiding us, that we will eventually be victorious in whatever that we do. On that note, once more, good evening, everyone, and good night.